You've done the artist way before, but you never finished, and now it's sitting on your shelf, and you're using it as another excuse to tell yourself you're not the artist you know you are inside. Or you've never even heard of the artist way, but you feel creatively blocked and stuck, and you're not fully living up to your creative expression and the potential that you know you have inside. You may be experiencing anxiety, depression, or like you're lost in the wheel of your family life, your job, and you have absolutely no time to create the life of an artist that you desire. This is for you. Even if you haven't created anything in 10 years, or you haven't, made art since your third grade art class, but you know somewhere within you, you're a painter, you're a poet, you're an actor, you're an artist. So just a little about me. I'm Julila. I am a multimedia artist of many forms. Go ahead and go to the next slide. There I am. And I've been working with coaching people who are lost or stuck in their potential for about 3 years. And the people that I've worked with feel transformed in their confidence, their self-expression, their creativity, and their self-worth after working with me. I also am a AMPA movement teacher, workshop facilitator, lead retreats. So here's a few examples of some clients who have worked with me who feel completely transformed in their life afterwards and have this opportunity of self-exploration, empowerment, getting to understand their blocks, their boundaries. One of these is from Melissa, a dear client of mine who worked with me last fall. And she was completely a blocked artist. She had no idea that she was even an artist. Well, she knew she wanted to write, but she was lost in the corporate world, never had time, really was giving all of her energy to her family and to her job. And after working with me, she was able to find her authentic voice inside and start writing poetry again. And now, later this year, she's actually publishing her poetry book. Super exciting. So the clients who work with me finally feel like they're on their soul mission, they're living their purpose and their path. They feel more in their pleasure, more open, more in the flow of life, more connected with their inner child. And they're able to get past these blocks, these fears that are holding them back from their fullest expression. So I'm going to show you exactly how you can start being the artist that you know you are and living your highest purpose and joy right now. I'm going to set the tone. Did you know that only 10% of people who graduate with a BFA in the arts go into a career in the arts? And 48.7% of self-identified working artists make less than $5,000 a year from their art. And I'm not telling you that to tell you that you're not going to make money from your art. I'm saying this because I'm asking why. Why is this? And it's my belief that it's 100% a belief system that's holding people back from making money from their art. Artists believe that they must be poor, so which keeps many from even doing it at all. And I was, when I was in college and for a time afterwards, that was totally me. I was stuck in this belief system of the starving artist, and I totally romanticized that, and that was the only possible future for me. I didn't think anything else was like having money and being stable, that was virtually impossible. And that belief system created my reality that I was living. And second, what keeps people back from really making money as an artist and living this life with a career is that you aren't able to make your great art when you don't feel confident about your voice, your expression, your direction, your sole purpose in your art. And you don't have this inner knowing of yourself. And that's something you don't get taught in art school. And that's really the secret. So you want to know why you're creating art and for you to be fully expressed in your work. So I felt completely lost about which way I wanted to go in art for so long, and I had so many passions and interests, but nothing really solid to show for it. And I felt like I wasn't fully able to express myself artistically, and anything I was making, it didn't feel like me. It didn't feel like it had that quality of me, which would make it good, which would make it feel satisfying. So I'm going to share 3 secrets that will completely shift all of this for you and bring you on the path of being a soul successful, creatively fulfilled artist who isn't afraid to claim the title artist. And you're in the right place right now if you feel lost and if you want to be creating more and you want to find the soul fulfillment success as the artist you know you are inside. I skipped a little early. This was me. A little more about me I want to share, just so you get a sense of who I am. This is me when I was 21 in art school at Pepperdine University. This was my first art class actually in college. And after this, I changed my major for the 4th time. So I was feeling so lost about what I actually wanted in the world. And I decided to change my major to art because of this summer class I took with a professor who encouraged my talents and my abilities. And in this class, I felt finally alive again, and some happiness and relief from this crippling depression, anxiety, and these feelings of feeling lost that I had. I had originally come to college for theater, but felt discouraged and not good enough. And then I switched to film and then felt discouraged again there, and then changed to psychology for a very brief time. And then after that life-changing art class, I switched to art, where I met some extreme resistance, again, doubt, low self-worth. After that one art class with that amazing professor, all my other professors after that were extremely harsh and results oriented, and it was actually really difficult. But I stuck with it this time. I was like, this is my junior year in college. I need to graduate, I need to finish. So I stuck with it and went through a really hard time, but eventually produced a senior thesis gallery show as my senior project. Oh, this was back with me in that first art class, just really finding the joy of art and, taking these photos of these little moments in the studio, and felt like I really found myself here. Yeah. So yeah, this senior thesis show, I was really proud of it, and it included photography, video art as part of this installation. This was a Mylar sculptures, one on the right, and then in the left, you can see there, this is inside the installation with all these sculptures made of Mylar. The whole exhibit was about palm trees as being these colonial figures, displaced figures in LA. And this was inside. This is a view from the whole gallery. So you can see the Mylar room. And then on the right, I had my prints and pieces of actual palm trees. That's my old name, by the way, up there. It was so fun. I was actually picking up pieces of palm trees around the city, bringing them into the gallery, taking prints through photos through prisms and infrared, experimenting with all forms. Yeah, so oh wait, where's that photo? There it is. Okay. So I was really proud of that, and I got to present artist talks about my work all around LA, and I received several awards. I got to show my prints at 2 galleries in LA. I was received into an artist residency in India, and I had my work published in online and printed publications. So after receiving all of this success, I knew there was something more for me. I knew this wasn't actually it. And while I was in India, I wanted to explore my spirituality more. So I went to an ashram, but I didn't really find what I was looking for personally while I was there. So I came back to LA, where I felt was home, since I went to school here for so long and felt so at home here with the mountains and the ocean. I landed in this small mountain town right outside the city, Topanga, California, where I still am now. And I studied with my mentor for 3 years. I found her. She was an incredible, magical being, and I practiced embodied movement and embodied living through her system called Embodied Movement, Amba movement. And Amba gave me an experience of my actual body. I think this photo is loading. Hmm. Wow. Maybe it'll load in a moment. There's photos of me actually in nature practicing embodiment and finding my authentic self. So up until my whole life, then I had been living in my head as an academic, a good student, and Amba brought me home into my body. I had no idea that I actually had a body. It's like one of the most simplest truths. And it brought me home to who I was and my authentic essence, and who it gave me access. These tools gave me access to who I actually am and what I actually want, and not what professors or parents or society wanted from me. So it was so incredibly healing for me. And I became an Amba movement teacher after a lot more training. And I wanted to combine what I was learning through feminine embodiment, movement, cycle tracking, earth centered living, and spirituality with photography. So I began a now successful business, Wild Woman Magic. Let's see if I have a photo of that. No, that one's not loading either. Here it is. Oh, there's the photos of me moving, and and then here's the photo. A photo of my business, Wild Women Magic Photography. So I guide women through inner journeys, meeting their inner women, inner wild woman, inner goddess, inner self, whatever you want to call it, and then art directing a shoot based off of that, and finally capturing them in photos in their most powerful, feminine, authentic essence. So this work goes far beyond appearance and is about healing and empowering women. So I love it so much. But I've never boxed myself in as a photographer. This whole time I've always, explored myself and wanted to express myself in different ways. And during this time, I took dance classes at a local community college. I studied a 2-year Meisner, a prestigious program, a Meisner acting program that I was received into. I started painting, I was making sculpture, I was playing guitar and ukulele and singing and making music and capturing a lot of performance art and video art. So this practice of Amba and, coming home to myself really started this creative renaissance. I began Yoni Temple School with 3 of my Amba movement teachers and sister friends who were there in these photos. And we teach workshops, retreats, host transformative ceremonies, and have an online membership teaching embodiment and how to connect with your inner wisdom, your power, your self-love, your confidence through movement, women empowerment, and herbal plant spirit medicine, and connecting with the earth. So I am still pursuing and loving all of these art forms fully, and I easily and effortlessly love to begin new art forms all the time. And I'm always living in the unknown and at my edge. It's my favorite, and I feel like I'm soul fulfilled in my art, and like I'm creating work that's really meaningful to me, and then I know why I'm making art and what I'm doing with it. But I was not always so confident and so easily able to pick up all these different art forms and feel capable. And I knew I wanted to make art, but I didn't know why or what about. So here's, oh yeah, another photos from retreat. So fun. Amazing woman. So this photo is gonna load, but this is me at 15. When the photo loads, I was a lead in my school play. And for me at that time, acting was the only place where I felt like I excelled. I was getting praise and people were telling me I was good. And my artistic appetite was actually so much bigger than that. And I wanted to sing, I wanted to make music, I wanted to dance, paint, and draw. But I felt desperately untalented in any of those areas. And I felt depressed about that. I felt like it was too late for me to start in any of these other art forms, and like I should just stick with acting because I'm been doing it for a while and I'm good at it. And okay, there's another photo of me in a play. And here's me growing up. I was 16 here with my family. Just my dad is missing from this photo. He is taking the picture. And I grew up in a really conservative home in Texas. I loved to sing and dance, when I was little growing up, and I loved my art classes, but I never felt like I could actually be an artist. Like, what would that mean? I didn't know what life as an artist could look like. I didn't know anyone identifying as an artist or performer, and it seemed completely out of reach. And like, that was for famous people in LA and New York and, museums, and that was just a totally different world. And I didn't feel like I could compare to that at all. Even in my art classes in school, sorry, it's a little windy here. It's Panga. um, ever since a really young age, I would see my other classmates' work and just compare myself. I was my own harshest critic. Like, I didn't feel like I could make stuff that was realistic, and therefore that I wasn't good because I didn't have those skills to do really realistic work. And I really loved music, and I remember my dad coming to one of my performances where it was a musical theater thing, and I was singing, and it was like, I guess some people just don't have an ear for telling when they're out of tune. Do you not have that? And I was so crushed by that, and I didn't feel like I ever wanted to sing again. I also loved playing piano, but it was like so structured, and I didn't feel like there was any room for fun. And it was like, okay, I just have to practice my scales every day, and I stopped enjoying it, so I stopped playing. And up until my early 20s, I was really struggling with my self-worth and feeling like I wasn't fully expressing myself, living up to my potential. I traveled the world in search of myself, but I knew I wasn't really finding it anywhere. And I really was just running away from myself and not being grounded and not being creative. It was soul sucking for me to, like, yes, I was enjoying traveling and going all to these countries, but I feel like I was failing because my inner artist inside me knew there was something within me that I wasn't getting to live. As you know, if you're an artist, not being creative is the worst. So here's the travel photos that finally came up here. Africa, Philippines, Zambia, Africa, Philippines, Iceland, Morocco. I went to like over 20 countries. I was studying abroad, and then after I graduated, I traveled more as well. So I never, I had this moment when I was in Amsterdam that I'll never forget. And I just walked into this random gallery, and I was stunned by the creative, innovative, fresh, contemporary art that was there that I hadn't really seen before, actually. I was my sophomore year in college, and something called me there, and something was like, I need to do this. I need to make art. So I knew I wanted to be an artist in my fullest capacity. I just couldn't figure it out. Where to start, where to begin. So I was, I just became jealous, and I became a critic, and like anyone who was talented and living their artistic dreams, I was like, ugh, because I wanted to be that. I knew that was within me. And if I can do this, if I can be where I'm at now, I know that you can too, because I was like the most depressed, low self-worth, never believing I could be an artist or successful at anything I did. And I was able to completely change my brain, heal those old patterns, and create a new life for myself with this method I'm going to teach you. My goal from this class is to share with you 3 tools that will transform your life and kickstart your artistic career. So why is self-worth important for making art? And why is purpose, having a sense of purpose? And actually, I found the stat that those who self-identify having low or no sense of purpose have 2.43% higher risk of dying from heart disease or cancer. So it's extremely important for our health, our whole being, our whole life to have a sense of purpose in what we're doing. And it's equally important for creating the art that you want to create to have this purpose. Secret number 1, being an artist is incredibly fun and joyful and even easy and natural to you, and is not as serious at all as people make it. And that was one thing that really kept me stuck. It was like, I thought I had to be disciplined. I thought I had to be hard. I thought it was harsh. And it was completely wrong. And when I learned this secret, it shifted everything for me. Secret number 2, if you want to become an artist, you have to face and heal your past. We all have traumas, we all have wounds, we all have an inner child that was not given what it needed and was not met. And we all have these wounds as an artist as well. Those people who told us we weren't good enough, those people who made us feel like we couldn't make it. And it's actually keeping us back in the present today. Secret number 3, as an artist, you get to become the best version of you. And as you grow as an artist, you're also growing spiritually. You're growing in every way. So it changes everything in your life. So we're expanding what's possible in your life right now. You are capable of so much more than you could even dream right now. And I know because I was there. Doing the artist way, combined with embodiment and meditations guiding to your deeper subconscious, along with one-on-one coaching and support, is the best way to start living your dream as an artist. The Artist's Way is an incredibly powerful book. You've probably heard of it because it's began the careers of so many famous artists in all mediums. And it's a 12-week program of journaling exercises and writing to do that reawakens and recovers your inner artist. However, countless more millions of people have bought this book and only done it a couple weeks, and it sits on their shelf, and they stop doing their morning pages and they never get anywhere. This was me. I tried to do it several times and it never went anywhere with it. Never felt like I was doing it fully and then would give up. And it's possibly been many of you as well. And I want to tell you why. You're not a failure for not sticking with the Artist's Way. You're not lazy or non-committal or procrastinator. I used to think all of these things about myself when I wasn't making art. And I was so hard on myself. And it got me nowhere. It didn't change a thing. It's because as an artist, you need support. If you are awakening to the fact that you're an artist, it's an incredibly fragile and sensitive place to be, and you need a lot of support to fully grow. Every person who wants to be successful in any field needs a mentor. You need someone to hold you accountable, to push you, to force you to face your fears and your shadows, to someone to cheerlead your every success and champion you, and to guide you to the finish line. It's also because you need to do the healing inner work before you can start seeing the outward results. You need guidance and the space to be held for you during this deep and vulnerable work. And you cannot truly go deep if you are trying to do it alone. You just can't. You can only take yourself as far as you've gone yourself. If you want to go to new places, you need someone who's gone to those new places to guide you to them. And I am your guide into the underworld of your own subconscious. I can help you see what you can't see yourself because I've done the work extensively in myself and for countless of my clients. You need an outside perspective. And it's also because the Artist's Way, it's the other reason why you weren't successful with the Artist's Way, is because the Artist's Way is solely tailored to your mind and not your body. It's all so much reading and it's full of all these wonderful journaling exercises. But that's not only overwhelming for so many people with limited time, and when they can't complete it all, you feel lost and behind and you give up. But it's also, there's only so much you can learn through reading and writing. And in my experience, and for many others, we need to connect to the body. And I can guide you into your body on movement journeys that take you to new places within yourself that you don't even know exist right now. When you move the body, energy flows and new creative ideas come through. The embodied movement that I guide is intuitive, receptive, elemental, subtle, non-linear, spiral in nature, and flow-based. So this opens you up to new pathways in your body and mind that opens up mind-blowing creativity. This type of movement also somatically teaches you receptivity, following your intuition, being in the flow, being more flexible, adaptable, and creative that transfers over into your life. It's basically the movement that takes you into the universal flow of creativity, God, goddess, however you want to call it, the universe itself. The wind is really feeling that. So when I move and dance in this way, the visions that come in for me, for my art, for my life, are unbelievable. And I used to never think I had a good imagination. I never got downloads. I never got those ideas, I thought artists were supposed to get. And now that I know I have this practice, I know I have the power in my body at any moment through these movement practices and tools that I'll be sharing with you. They'll literally transform energy, break up thought patterns, shake up negative energy or stuck energy and negative thoughts, and bring me into a state of flow, which I know every time I'll receive incredible breakthroughs and ideas. So also embodiment, it brings it into the body. So not only is the body this access point to God, the universe, flow, like I'm talking about, we also hold stuck energy, trauma, everything we're going to be working through in the artist way in our bodies. And so we need to be able to express it out, and you needed someone to hold the space in the container for that for you, so it feels really safe and to actually push you into that, so you're able to act out with your body some of these things. And so I also teach some acting exercises that we'll go through with some of my acting experience that really help to shift things in your life. So then I also guide in these incredibly rich and deep inner journeys through meditation. And these allow your brain to enter a theta state. So you can not only fully relax and receive that much needed restoration, but it also provides for more creative flow, but also allows you to enter your subconscious mind and your true, authentic inner self that is beyond the rational brain. So society has us believe that, and it's trained us to only be in this small rational part of our brain, which is great actually, but it's also missing out on the vast majority and power of the other side of your brain, which is where all art is born. So in this state, you can receive messages about what the art you want to make, your soul purpose, your mission, and more from your subconscious. And to actually be able to reprogram your subconscious. It's these loops of your pains, your wounds from childhood. So it can be very hard to reach the state that I'm talking about and receive these messages and guidance from your inner self through journaling alone, which the Artist Way has you do. In this state, you can also receive the neural reprogramming and healing of the emotional healing of the old thoughts and patterns and traumas that is necessary for you to heal and to evolve into your best self. And I'm especially experienced in guiding my clients into really deep states of imagination and incredibly deep states they've never experienced before. And they've tried all kinds of other meditations where they couldn't really stop the mind chatter, or they never were able to visualize and have, see things, but now they can. And so I also have really specialized meditations for artists that can't be found anywhere else. And additionally, since we work one-on-one, they are completely personal and tailored to you in the moment. So I'm able to guide you so much better because I'm working directly with your energy in real time and present time and with your personal subconscious, which is different than anyone else's. And because I'm working with you one-on-one, we're able to work there and go there. So all of this healing and clearing out of the old is necessary for you to start making the art you want to make, because it's exactly the blocks that are keeping you from it now. We just need to clear everything out that's not you, so you can just be you and your authentic self-expression and your authentic essence. Because in this state, art just becomes easy. It's just natural. It's your natural way of being. It's our natural way of being as humans. It's how we were created. And this, going into this movement meditation, it's like going into the source state, the 0 point of the universe, the creation zone of the universe. You're learning the energetics of creation through your body, through your mind, and then you can apply it to anything you want to create in the outer world. So everything's energetics first, right? Okay, I'm going to go back to my slides. Here we go. So how to do this? And others say, become the artist you want to become. You need to go to art school, spend thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars and go into debt and learn how to do things that artists of the past have done and how your professors want you to do them. And this doesn't actually work for becoming the artist you want to be, because art schools don't teach you how to connect with your own authentic voice, which is the only thing that makes you a successful, soul-fulfilled artist. So the old way, go into debt, be unable to even work a job or make money during the time while you're in school, be forced to finish projects on someone else's timeline, be forced to take classes that you don't even want to take, be graded on art pieces by some objective standard that doesn't even make sense, because we all know true art can't be graded or judged. It comes from your soul and is on your own personal timeline of how you're creating. And even worse, you're being pushed into a box from the start in your major, and you have all this pressure to focus on one medium and excel in that. So you're left feeling defeated, overworked, stressed, boxed in, limited, creatively stifled, hating your craft, and possibly broke. The power of what I do is connect you with your truth, your authentic soul essence, encourage you to blossom and push you to your highest capacity so that you're empowered by learning your art form on your own and by getting to explore, create, and reinvent. Even though you're thinking, I can't do it, I'm not good enough, I really don't know how to paint or act or dance or anything right now, I'm not really an artist, I need to be trained to my craft, or I've tried meditation before that you're talking about, it doesn't work, I don't have a good imagination, I won't actually be able to connect with my soul. What does it even mean? I'm terrified of what will happen if I tap into that. I'm terrified to go into my fears that you're talking about. I could never actually make it as an artist. I don't have the time. It's too late for me, etc., etc. You will find your creative voice, your powerful creative voice as the artist that you know you are. And you'll never have to be left wondering what you could have done with your life, left with regrets and stuck with the victim mindset, imagining only if you could have had this life and support growing up, and only if you'd started earlier. Actually imagine right now that you're in your power and you're in your creative voice right now, creating the meaningful, fulfilling work. Actually take a moment to envision this. You're surrounded by the work you've created, that you love, living your dream life and career as an artist. You will have this when you have a coach. So the old way, try to do the artist way alone or in a free group and find yourself giving up on it. Oh, yes, what I teach, the movement, getting into your soul essence, healing, so beautiful. And these are all people who never moved before, didn't feel at home in their bodies. And this is the kind of access they can now have. And all the elements within them. Earth, embodied, really getting connected to your body. And all the elements, wind, water, air, that are within you. These are the lies that are their lies. They're not true. They're not your truth. So the old way. And I was there so many times. And I know so many other wannabe artists who have been there also, never fully completing or doing all their exercises. So they give up on the artist way and they just use it as another reason that they're a failure and not really meant to be an artist. You aren't going to meet your goal alone. You need one-on-one support. You need other modalities to break through those old subconscious patterns and retrain the neural pathways in your brain. I have experience doing NET and NLP, which are, if you know, they're neuro-linguistic and neuro-emotional techniques of brain reprogramming. So the secret number one of the new way is you commit to yourself and your art. You join a program like this that keeps you accountable to completing 12 weeks, 3 months of the artist way and creating again. And you commit to these 12 one-on-one sessions to actually heal old wounds, thoughts, and patterns and create new habits and completely change your brain to be hardwired for pleasure, fun, joy, and creativity. This is possible. You guys, this is possible. This is what you can have. It's so incredible. And I know you're wondering if you can actually do this. Is this too good to be true? Am I just going to let myself down again? I know you're terrified of what it can mean to your family, your friends, etc., your job if you actually started your art. But let me tell you what, you came here for this. I know because you're listening right now, listening to this. So I know there's a part of you that knows you came to Earth to do this, to create and share with the world. And I don't believe it's an accident that you're here today listening to me right now. Every artist, athlete, successful person of any field doesn't have a story of success since birth. The best ones have suffered the most, immense setbacks, trials, blocks, sometimes set them back for years from their craft. And what sets them apart and made them successful is that they picked themselves up, they believed in themselves, and either they were found by or they found and chose to work with a coach, mentor, teacher who believed in them to take them where they wanted to be. Every successful person has at least one moment they can look back to and say, that was the turning point. That was the moment I chose. I'm doing this for real, no matter what. And they can always point to a person to whom without they never would have made it to where they are now. This can be your turning point. This can be your creative U-turn. This is the moment where you can look back and see where everything in your life changed forever. I want to be the person that takes you there. Secret number 2. Being an artist is healthy, positive, and healing for the world, and creating is what you're meant to do. The old way is there's so much hidden shame that we carry around that we may not even know about being an artist. Basically lies that we've been unconsciously held from our upbringing. Like artists are lazy, artists are bad, artists are drug addicts, artists are crazy, artists are depressed, artists are loners, artists have to live alone. They have all this time in the world with themselves in a cabin in the middle of nowhere where they just get to work on their projects, and they have to have that to create it. Artists have to be born into a lot of money and have a lot of resources and tools. Artists have to be trained their whole lives to create meaningful work. Artists have to start at least when they're 5 years old, or at least by 15, by 20, by 30, whatever. And so many more. Any of these sound familiar? So you haven't achieved what you want as an artist because some or all of these old beliefs are unconsciously holding you back. And you haven't had the tools to unlock and heal them and reprogram your brain. Secret number 3. The old way was to be a disciplined artist, try to force myself to get to be creative and get work done and be a harsh critic of my work and be surrounded by teachers and professors, professionals who are harsh critics and who will improve my work and make it better. No, this doesn't work. Here's what we do. Love yourself, love ourselves, support ourselves, and point out where we're doing really good and what we already really love about our work. We don't judge our early work, but we provide positive feedback that allows our true voice to start to blossom. Your recovering young artist is a fragile, budding flower that needs a supportive, loving environment, plenty of sunshine, plenty of water, rain, in order to blossom and flourish. And contrary to what some beginning artists think, it is not soldier-like discipline and harsh criticism that makes us successful. The most successful artists have actually been able to flourish because they had a loving and supportive environment. And in fact, many higher zones of professional artists are actually loving and positive places, contrary to what many of us at the beginning think. We assume Hollywood and the world of galleries is harsh and cold, and this is a lie we tell ourselves to keep us from pursuing a professional art career. There are actually so many professionals who are so supportive. And they know, the best know, creativity is light and playful and all about having fun. And you can have these cheerleading professionals in your life. Yes, you can do this, and life can be this good. Imagine yourself living this creative life in the field of your dreams, surrounded by supportive creatives who love your work. Or you never make the work you want to. You're stuck in old self-defeating patterns and it sucks. And no, that's not what you want. It's not what I want for you. The results you'll have from working with me is a newfound belief, trust, and confidence in yourself and in your work. And you will have in your art, and you will have a solid artistic practice. A loving and positive outlook on your life and better relationships with everyone in your life. This is going to affect everything in your life, not just your art. If you've never tried the artist's way before, you could buy the book, or you could pick it up off your shelf if you have it, and you could just try it on your own. But why make it harder on yourself? Why take the lonely path that sets you up for failure and incompletion when you could have so much more fun with support? Do you think that you can do this? Leave behind the struggle that you're in. Believe in yourself. You could try it on your own, or you could learn from my effective method and support. When you start this program, you will start creating art and making leaps and bounds of mental and creative progress within 1 week. Doing things that you could never even imagine right now. The best thing you can do for yourself is be on the inside. When you click below, in the button below, you'll book a call and we'll talk for 45 minutes and we'll go over your plan for freedom. The work of becoming who you're meant to be is actually work very few people do. You have to be committed to your greatness, and you need support because this is not the path many are traveling down. It's a photo of one of my retreats and giving this loving support that everyone needs. This is perfect for you if you are just starting out, or you already have a career in one art form and are just dying to try a whole new art form, and it terrifies you, or you were an artist for 10 years ago and you burned out and part of you is missing that and dying to try again. It's perfect for you wherever you're at. You are an artist. You are ready. You need a mentor. Spaces are running out. And I can only handle so many students right now since these are one-on-one calls that I get with you. So I only have such little space. So you must apply now. Click the link below, book a call. We'll discuss the strategy plan for becoming the artist that you're meant to be. Another testimonial here below. Jalila, it's from Leah. Delilah helps pull the magical, graceful, and distinguished animal out of you so that you can be present, strong, connected to your most authentic self. She's amazing at bringing out your goddess within because she embraces her own goddess. She is a wild woman at heart, and in practice, she facilitates a safe space for exploration, honesty, and fulfillment. Thank you, Leah. Book a call now. And this is also, I know I work with a lot of women. I also work with men and all people who don't fit on that binary, self-identified as however you are. So beautiful. So I want to work with you. Book that call now and we can get talking and get you started on your path. Thank you so much for listening with me today. Thank you so much for being here with me. My heart is sending you out love beams, and I'll talk to you soon.